And I know you've asked me this question a couple times all during this issue conference, and then you'll come back and it dominates the conference. No, we're not talking about this in our conference. You're just asking about it. So it only dominates your asking. Yes, sir.
About the investigation that your committee chairman launched yesterday into the prosecutor from New York. You guys have raised a lot of concerns about the prosecutor. But what about the actual allegations here that the former president may have falsified business records to cover, for hush money payments to cover up this alleged affair with adult film actors? Do you have any concerns about that?
Look, the thing I think about, it was interesting. Someone briefed me on the use of money, a situation like this before. And you probably covered this. Remember when the DNC and Hillary Clinton paid the law firm $1 million, but and said that it was for something else, and we found out later it wasn't. It was all about the Russia collusion. It wasn't for legal part. And so they went through, and they got investigated. $1 million they spent, and you know what? At the end of the day, they didn't get prosecuted. They got fined. Hillary's campaign got fined $8,000, and the DNC got fined $100,000. Even though they used $1 million, they knowingly hid the fact of what they were doing to try to hide. They got investigated. So I look at it from this perspective. We live in America, and it should be equal justice. This was personal money. This wasn't trying to hide. This was 7 years ago, statute of limitation. And I think in your heart of hearts, you know, too, that you think this is just political. And I think that's what the rest of the country thinks, and we're kind of tired of that. I mean, we're sitting up here just going through an issue conference. We just brought up 3 major bills that we've worked all of our time. We've strived to get these bills created. We worked really hard to get to the majority, telling the American public that this is what we're doing. This is what we're going through. And this is what we're explaining to you. And I know you've asked me this question a couple times all during this issue conference, and then you'll come back and it dominates the conference. No, we're not talking about this in our conference. You're just asking about it. So it only dominates your asking. But we're excited about doing something to make sure we're not dependent on China. We're very excited about making sure children and parents have a say in their kids' education. And we're excited about making America energy independent, lowering the price of gasoline for everyone, sustaining a geopolitical world that's actually safer, and actually bringing down inflation. So those are the things I focus mainly on. But I do get concerned when I look out there and I see justice not being equal to others, especially in the history of where we are. And the tough part is with a local DA playing in presidential politics. If that starts right there, don't you think it'll happen across the country? So I even watched an individual who was on your network, CNN. See, I watch your network sometimes, changing channels. And I know him well, and he's a Democrat. He's a strong liberal on the other end, and he just thought this was all wrong, too. And so I think it's a place that the country can unite. They want equal justice. They just think it's wrong.